Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode number 47 of the 9 to 5 Fitness Podcast. I'm joined with Anabolic Gabe. Gab, how are you? How'd you sleep?
Mate, I'm very well. Slept decently. It was an interesting one for a few reasons, but yeah, we'll take it. It's under the belt. What about yourself?
Yeah, I slept pretty well. Went out last night, so a couple of beers, probably not the best sleep, but I felt like I slept well.
Was it a quiet one? Or?
Oh, probably like a medium one.
Medium one. You said it was going to be quiet, but I just can't trust you, can I?
Can't trust me, no. I after a couple of beers, I just, I want to keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you go large or not too bad?
I think I counted it was about 10.6 standards.
0.6.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to kind of regulate the amount that the bartenders are actually giving you. A few cheeky cocktails. You don't know if there's 1, 2, maybe 3 in it perhaps. So yeah, we'll just take it as it's given.
You always hope for more when you're paying.
That is true.
Bang for buck wise.
On our little daily trackers, we've got that alcohol column as well. So
yeah,
just track how alcoholic Gabe is going.
Do you have the alcohol tracker now?
It's just been inputted because Coach was a bit worried about how much we're going out. So
yeah, well, we're 23. We're in a festive season.
Yeah,
here to enjoy it, but we are also keeping on top of our macros or trying to. Do you struggle with that when you kind of have a few drinks and?
So Monday to Friday. Or Monday to Thursday, I'm unreal with the diet, just on point. And then, mate, as soon as I just go out or I'm out with friends, I was in the city last night. We were at Chin Chin, and mate, it's just scoffing down food left, right, and center. It was mate. It's like this beast within me gets unwoken, and it's just I want to eat everything in sight, mate.
I'd say it's like Monday to Friday night, up until 5 o'clock on a Friday. Macros are perfect, and then. One drink and
it's kind of rough, isn't it?
Surely it's all right though. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, macros don't count. I mean, calories don't count on the weekend, do they?
Yeah, after 5 p.m.
Yeah,
that's exactly how it works. Now we've got a big podcast today. We've got a huge mailbag which we're going to get into later. Firstly, I just wanted to read out a cheeky fan message. Actually, someone wrote in, and I thought it was a beautiful message. So I thought I'd read it out to you and for our listeners. So he said, not a question, but just wanted to say I absolutely love the potty. I wait for it to come out and just binge it immediately. Makes my day just listening to you blokes talk about whatever you want. Just know that even though you may not think it, you have a positive impact on lots of people's lives and have helped, and you help people get through things. Much love. I think that's really nice.
It's really heartwarming.
It is. It genuinely is. And we really appreciate those messages. Of course, we try and get back to all of them. But yeah, it's good to know because as we've said in the past, mate, the podcast metrics, it's we can see how many people view it. And that's kind of it. It's not a like or dislike.
Yeah. It's crazy to think because I think there really is a gap in the market for blokes talking about things like this, the kind of topics we do about girlfriends, mental health, cheating, all these sorts of difficult topics to chat about. And I suppose we do put ourselves in somewhat of a vulnerable position, and I think a lot of people do get a lot out of those podcasts. It's crazy when people come up to you and they're I love the podcast, because for me, I often forget that we do have this podcast and we chat a lot about it. And it's for some of these people that listen to crazy minutes of the podcast, they probably feel like they know us really well. Yeah. Just through us chatting shit for about 40 minutes.
I literally forget how much content, especially the podcast, we actually put out.
Yeah.
A full, at least 40 minutes a week, we're talking into a mic and probably condensing our whole week / our thoughts for that week into our microphone. So it's a mini radio show without proper ads.
Yeah.
And we're pretty genuine about it, I think. So maybe that's what's working.
Yeah. Isn't radio dying because podcasts are taking over?
Yeah, hugely.
That's the move.
I mean, but also I think the issue with radio is that they're so kind of corporation focused, they've got an agenda, so they're not going to actually speak their minds, whereas you and I or old mate Joe Rogan can just come onto the mic.
It's very independent.
Yeah, so we're going to keep it independent.
Now this week I've picked up this beast. For those of you who aren't on YouTube, it is a new camera. A new camera with a new lens, and I've got a few other bits and pieces coming, but this is going to be the upgrade to our content that we really need. So the thing is, for fitness photos, you take 100 photos on iPhone, one of them might be good.
Yep.
Particularly by my standards, I'm pretty harsh with it. I'm nah, I can't use that one. Whereas this one, pretty much every photo you get is going to be usable. It's just absolutely unreal, isn't it?
It's ridiculous to use. I got to take it for a spin yesterday for the first time, and it's so satisfying, every single photo.
Yeah, it's for those of you who do know a thing or two about cameras, we are complete noobs, but I've been put under some good guidance by some really unreal photographers. It is the Sony A7 Mark III. with a 24 to 70 mil lens, and I think the Focus 4, if that makes sense. And I've got a few other road marks and things coming, but yeah, that's kind of the setup. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving it and can't wait to learn more about it.
The content is going to be elite. Now, last week we did a podcast on cheating.
Yeah.
And you opened up a fair bit on that. I just wanted to check in. How are you? How are you feeling? And how are you feeling since that podcast has aired?
I feel probably the same, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what happened. I think kind of the trauma and the emotional response to it had already occurred months before, and I think it was just kind of a good time to release about it. So,
was there ever a moment of regret after you uploaded the podcast going, oh shit,
not at all. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Actually, I don't want to get too specific.
Yeah.
If any other parties may have listened to it or anything like that, but yeah, it is what it is. It's an event that occurred, and I think because we have this platform, there's no one, we don't have a boss saying, oh, you can't talk about that. We're not doing anything illegal. I think we're within our own right to speak about these things. Yeah,
well, it's just experiences, and you're not naming any names, obviously. And I think it was all above the books. And, you know, the response from that has been fantastic. I think our mailbag this week has been one of the best in a long time.
Exactly. And I think, it's a fact of modern day dating. I don't know if it's more prevalent now, like cheating and things like that. Maybe because social media exists, it's easier to, Snapchat someone. And we do have a few mailbag pieces about, people sending nudes and things like that, and just the ease of access and different forms of cheating. Like nowadays, it doesn't have to be you go and directly sleep with someone. It can be, you're chatting to them on something or sending them saucy photos, something like that. So
yeah, watch those saucy photos, please.
Speaking of saucy photos, mate.
Saucy photos.
That's a good kind of segue into that one.
Transition. We did a modelling thing with the legend Jake O'D, a couple of months ago now?
I think it was November 1st we did it.
Yep, and the photos are starting to be uploaded. Mm-hmm. It's a wild ride. What's your thoughts?
Well, I was a bit conscious about how, I don't know, like it's more saucy than the usual stuff we do. And I was like a bit worried that a few of the photos probably won't ever see the light of day, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, they look fantastic, but it's different for us, mate. Like we're not, like we can take a photo with our top off all day.
Yeah.
But like we're in underpants in this, like we were oiled up, like we've got a pump on. It got very kind of, it's very intense.
That photo that we uploaded on Tuesday, my jeans were a little bit low and I didn't realize they were that low. And I was like, mate, like it's a good photo, but I don't know if that's like a bit too dodgy. And you're like, nah, like it's fine.
No, do it.
I was going to cover it with an emoji or something, but I think like now looking back on it, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And I think lots of people enjoyed it.
It's out there now. I think the issue with the emoji would have been it actually makes it look like you're not wearing pants full stop. Like if you put an emoji over your crotch, then it's like...
When in reality, it's not that bad.
Nah, it's just your top. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Enhanced. But yeah, go ahead.
My question is, will this affect things like employment and the professional career and corp? It's not like you're doing porn or anything.
Yeah.
But it's. I feel like it's something that you have to kind of be accepting of nowadays. Like you can't discriminate. Like us taking photos with our tops off and making content like that, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
It is a question that often pops up, and sometimes when like I go to upload, any kind of content, it's like, oh, hang on, could this actually affect my future, future career? But I feel like the way we're going, or the trajectory we're in, obviously we don't want to cancel out any opportunities in the future, but like I think most of this should help our future career.
Exactly. Yeah, I think all of the content we've put out there is reflective of who we are as people. I don't think anything is like worthy of being cancelled. I mean, I've got some controversial perspectives on perhaps nutrition and calories and things like that, which is probably the most controversial thing, but I don't think any content we've put out there is worthy of being like discriminated against. Like I'm pretty sure like the SMB legacy, like he couldn't go on reality TV because of some of the content he posted. And I think that's fair enough, because although some of his content might be humorous at face value, it is like the underlying nature of it is pretty misogynistic and
definitely
just rude. So I mean, I think the guy's pretty funny, to be honest, but like it's understanding why that might get you cancelled.
Totally. I think you also come to learn, like if a video goes viral or something, people are offended. Like, there is always going to be someone who's offended. And like, we always hear that, when you're young, you can't please everyone. It's so true. Like, I did a video about like a bump on my leg, which got like, I think 4.5 million views, which is nice. But people are offended by me asking what a bump on my leg is.
Yeah. The other day I had a comment. It was like a video of me deadlifting. Someone comments, "Ew, why would you want legs that look like that? You look so stumpy," or something like that. It's just like oh, like body positivity. What happened to that?
No, it goes out the window if you have muscles.
Yeah, exactly.
Body positivity, mate. It's all pile on, isn't it? Now, Manscaped.
Yeah, we do have the Manscaped.
We got the Lawnmower 4.0 is the one that we're rocking at the moment.
Exactly right. So we do need to keep a roof over our heads, and Manscaped are a great brand. They're sponsoring us, and I think every man needs to take their grooming a bit more seriously, to be honest. I think for me, I take it for granted. I'm very organised. I have a routine for all my grooming, and Manscaped is a big part of that. I'm actually going to start doing some YouTube videos on like my grooming routine.
Really?
Like, my oral hygiene, other sorts of grooming. But anyway, Manscaped is the key segment with that. You know what I love? The toiletries bag they sent us down. It is unreal. It's like a nice leather toiletries bag. I take it to the gym with all my shower stuff in there. It's just unreal. And lately I've actually picked up the foot deodorant. Ooh. So you spray it on your feet. And also this nail clipper kit. It's like a magnetic thing. It all just goes super easily into your toiletries bag, as well as the Lawnmower 4.0. If you need to shave your kind of gentle area down there. It's
your gonads.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep.
They've got a bunch of good items on their website, and I think it's an extremely relevant and high quality product for our audience. And if you do want to pick some stuff up and help support us, you can go onto their website and use code NTF. It'll give you 20% off and free shipping. And we'd love you to help out. So yeah.
Fantastic. Please do that, guys.
Cool.
So get a roof over our head. Now, ATAR week.
Yeah.
Big scary week. Oh my God.
I remember I went through this a few years ago.
5 years ago now, I'd say.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's scary. Where were you when you received your ATAR?
In my bedroom.
In your bedroom?
I remember I was pretty disappointed.
For those who don't know, ATAR is like your levers.
Yeah.
What is it, like your year 12 final
year
score?
12 scores.
Yep. So you were in your bedroom?
Yeah, I was disappointed. Because I got like a good ATAR, but I was most concerned about my English score. I thought I was destined for a 50. I thought, went to a school where it was one of the strongest English cohorts in the state, and I was like the number 2 ranked student in that cohort, and everyone would be coming to me for all their English advice. I was like the modern day Shakespeare. The teachers were just dumbfounded by this man's kind of intellect. It was unreal. My vocabulary was almost, I was the most weird kid ever with my vocabulary back in year 12. It was so strange. Anyway, I get my score back for English, and I got a 40.
Oh no.
I was like, what the fuck?
Do you contest it?
No, I didn't. But so I had A+ for Sem 1, Sem 2, exam B+.
Yeah, right.
What's happened there?
Well, you choked?
Yeah, I did. I did choke.
You did choke?
I don't have many regrets in my life, but that is probably the biggest regret in my life.
So hopefully they didn't do a you.
Yeah, hopefully you guys didn't do a me. But anyway, I probably just sound like a flog there. Some kid who keeps talking about his ATAR. But anyway, a bunch of you guys probably just finished year 12 and got your ATARs.
I had a question, someone messaged me personally saying, mate, we've heard a lot about Gab and his schooling life. What were you like in school, and how'd you go, kind of thing? So I thought, good opportunity. I'll just explain quickly what I was like, mate. I don't want to say I was a lot of trouble, but I certainly am not academic, like nothing like you are. Reading, writing, I can do it, but I'm not about to go getting 95s and stuff. And I learnt pretty quick after school that the ATAR for me personally didn't matter too much. I'm not saying don't go and work hard, but I learnt that the stress that kind of came with it probably wasn't all that necessary, albeit I didn't really stress, but for others, it generally works out pretty well. So in school, I wasn't the best student, but I think I'm on a trajectory now I'm kind of at level with people who were doing very well in school.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of people who peaked in high school and they don't have much to offer these days because they were all, I don't know, I feel like in the private school system, a lot of kids are just spoon-fed and they get a score, but that score isn't reflective of, their true intellect and true work ethic and true value I don't know, this sounds very superficial, but as soon as they get to uni, they fail because they've been spoon-fed the whole time. And that's something that I actually learnt in first semester of uni. Oh, no. Second semester of first year uni, I just got found out because it was just like next level. And then after that, I really just learnt. But yeah,
I think a lot of those private schools as well are literally geared around getting the best ATAR possible for their, like, I know some of the, I won't say that, but like some specific schools around Melbourne are like they've hacked the system in that all the kids are doing vet subjects as well. Like they know the process of exactly what to do to make sure you get the absolute best score possible. Like it's not even about, you know, what the kid enjoys.
And the thing is, when you have like a strong cohort, you all boost each other up. That's why it's so unfair to, you know, I don't want to discriminate against public schools or things like that. There are some really high performing public schools, but if you're like a really bright kid in like the middle of nowhere in some sort of, you know, public school that doesn't perhaps have the best cohort or resources, I believe that's putting you at a disadvantage. And I personally feel like that's
unfair.
That's so rough.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there are things like cease add-ons for like regional schools and things like that, which I'm sure help out. But yeah, I think it is a pretty unfair game. Like if your parents pay 30 grand a year, you're automatically getting a better ATAR. But anyway, when you're applying for jobs and things, like your ATAR doesn't matter that much if you're doing well in uni and you're in a pretty good course. I think it all kind of evens out somewhat. Again, it depends what kind of career path you're going down, but there are options if you didn't get the ATAR that you want. Of course, I know people that would do this, they didn't get into the course they wanted or like their dream course, but then they grind out first semester or like first year of uni, get a really good wham and then transfer into the course that they want to get into. I think that's an option. So it isn't the end of the world if you didn't get into the course that you wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is like, okay, sure, you created a lot of stress for yourself before getting the ATAR. You got to work as hard as you can, which is so fine. But hey, if you're in year 12 or you just finished year 12, you've got your ATAR, there's nothing you can do about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, move on. It's all good. You're going to get through.
That was the thing that I did through the year, is I just made sure as long as I give it everything I can and put everything out on the park, then you can't complain with what you get. Like, you've done everything you can. There's nothing more you could do.
Yep. No.
And there wasn't much else I could do, so yeah. Yeah,
definitely. No, it's good. And also get around your mates. If they did well, then good on them. You can still be proud of your ATAR, I think. Should we get into the mailbag?
100%.
We got a big one today. Starting off with the number one man, Mr. 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it out? Mr. Luca Glantz says, is Gab over his ex yet? Goes bang. First question.
Mate, big one.
That's
First
getting
question.
personal. Do you want to answer this? Are you all right? We don't have to, mate. Cut it out if you want.
How long's it been? It's been a few months now.
Couple of months.
Yeah, like definitely I am. There was no sense of like I'd go back kind of thing. It's just kind of processing some of the traumas and some of the stresses and some of the feelings that are kind of lingering. But yeah, definitely like over it all. Like, yeah, some stuff's been happening, which is really great.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. Have you seen that kind of transition?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I can see it in you for sure. Yeah, definitely. I don't really want to like talk about your experience specifically, but it's been fun to watch. You look like you're doing very well. I know you very well, obviously, and it looks like you're killing it.
I think something that I credit to the pretty fast turnaround is, this is for anyone else going through a breakup, what I feel kind of accelerated the process for me and allowed me to process things really quickly is attacking these feelings head on. You got to give him, like, for the first month I was a complete mess. Like, I'd be in tears all the time, but I kind of attacked it head on. I didn't sweep it under the carpet. So I'd be like giving these feelings the oxygen they need to breathe, and then they just die out and fade. And like for that first few weeks or month or whatever it is, you feel like this is going to be the feeling forever. Your life is just broken. Like, it's horrible. But I promise you those feelings are so temporary, and like it'll be like up and down for that really raw period. But after that, like, you were so fine. And now I kind of realize how like good life is, like how much you have to offer, like how much is just potential for business growth, for ideas, for content growth, just everything in the world.
Just enjoying life in general, I think. The day you can figure out that you can enjoy life single is a good day, I think. On the contrary, or maybe not the contrary, we actually got a message in the mailbag last week, which I just remembered. I'm not going to read out his name, but he said, mate, it's been 8 months and I'm still not on. I think about my ex every single day. Yeah. I can't move on. Like, that's also fine. You know, like you can't force these things to happen. I'd say that's really common, mate, if you are listening. I think like a lot of people go through that kind of thing where it's not as quick. Like for me personally, I couldn't just find something who's like, fuck it, like I hate this person, I'm done. Like it didn't work like that for me. So allow it, mate. I mean, do what you can, accept the emotions. If
it has been 8 months, I do wonder if he is implementing a few key things. So number one, you can't be contacting them. Like it's just, it's rough, but like, and I know it's embedded in your daily routine, but you just can't. Like the only way to move forward is no contact. Like you got to rip the Band-Aid off. This stuff where you guys try to stay friends or try to still, there's too many feelings in that situation. And the only way to move forward, the only way you're going to heal and recover is if there's no contact. You rip that Band-Aid off. Like, I'm sorry, it's rough, but it is literally the only way to do it. And like, I'm so glad I did that because now I'm on the other side of it. It's just like unreal. So number one, you got to do the no contact. You got to be unfollowing. You got to be blocking. Like, you don't want any reminders of them. If that means you got to delete their friends because you've seen them getting tagged in things, you got to do that too. Like, if there is something you can do to get that out of your mind, you got to do it, mate. Like,
I'd say a big one with a lot of that, like deleting the friends and stuff, as someone who's like, if you get broken up with or whatever, you're trying to please everyone. You're trying to like keep her friends happy and like, keep saying that like you're a good guy. Yeah. Mate, time to rip the Band-Aid off.
Honestly, put you first. If you're trying to crowd please, fuck that. Honestly, that's just going to bring you pain. You just got to, you got to put you first. A few other things. What else has helped accelerate?
I'd say, so I was saying before, like, look, if it's been 8 months, you haven't moved on, like, that's okay. Like, you prefer to move on, but is what it is. Just make sure, like, you're not doing things that affect, or like, you're not doing things in your life that might try and bring her back or something like that, you know? So let's say, you know, as easy as you're looking for a car, you know, and you go, oh, fuck, if I get that car, she liked those cars. I'll get that one. Or, you know, something as small as bloody buying a t-shirt. Like, just make sure you're not, like, actively, consciously make sure you're not being affected by trying to bring them back in your daily life, if that makes sense.
I remember in one of my breakups, like, I had like a certain taste in music, and then that ex-partner grew to love that music as well, like a particular artist, and I just stopped listening to that artist and I would listen to music that she hated. Like, I remember she hated like Guns N' Roses, or it was like she hated like Oasis or something. So like, mate, I was fucking pumping Oasis. It was like unreal. I was like, fuck you.
It's where the Oasis started.
Yeah, literally. So just honestly do shit like that. Like, be your own person. Like, I really reckon that's the way. The other thing I've realized too is, particularly if like you felt really strongly about this person, they were the love of your life so far, and you think they're the only person in the world that exists, mate, one day you'll just realize how replaceable they are. And it's not like that, like they're so special and unique. Like, honestly, the fact of the matter is there's probably like 3 billion other potential partners or something like that. Like, it honestly, they're not that special.
Yeah, definitely. And it takes time to figure that out.
Like, that is really harsh to say, but I think it's a fact of life. Like, what you're looking for is some sort of biological connection. You want the intimacy. Like, ask yourself, what are you actually missing from them? Are you missing cuddling with them? Are you missing, you know, some sort of like intercourse, like watching movies together? Like, that is going to be replaceable with someone else, that connection and things like that. So you'll be right, mate. If it's been 8 months, take these tips on board, and I hope you're out the other side soon. Yeah,
definitely. It's cool you opened up as well. I would send that in because obviously we can see the names who sends it in and stuff, and it's just like, mate, thanks for having trust in us, and that goes out to everyone, which brings us on nicely to the next question.
Yeah.
So from one of our female followers, opinion on porn in relationships or in a relationship for both sides.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, for me, like, if someone, like, I didn't really think it was a big deal, to be honest. But I could see how some people who perhaps, I mean, for blokes, it's kind of normalized because all your mates watch it. We're not necessarily condoning it, saying it's like good to watch. But the fact of the matter is most of your mates probably watch it. Probably some of your mates watch it a bit too much. So it's kind of normalized for blokes. I can definitely understand from a female perspective. It's like, it could almost feel like cheating.
Yeah, what if the female's watching it?
No. If the female is not kind of exposed to this as kind of blokes are, and all of a sudden they witness or are told about their partner doing it, might seem very, very foreign for them.
Yeah, it's a funny one. I mean, I think you and I both have kind of relatively the same stance on pornography, and like we're not really fans of it, and like the, you know, is what it is. But it's pretty prevalent. I don't have an issue with other people watching it.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, I suppose it's kind of like, well, like, why are you watching someone else? You know,
that is
and if you have a good relationship, maybe, I don't know, you could, to get around that, you could make your own.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me,
or something like that. Oh, it's a hard one. I don't really have a straight answer.
Because, I don't want to disclose too much of like our personal lives, but I suppose once you do engage in the real activity and like it's good and both parties are kind of really feeling it, it's enjoyable, like nothing really compares to that. Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
So for me, it's like, why would you do that? But
yeah. Well, I suppose it's that easy, quick, like serotonin release.
It is, yeah.
Which like humans just follow or chase. You're always going to chase it.
I think for us, we've always had like girlfriends or partners or something like that from a pretty young age. Whereas, and no, not criticizing anyone here, but there are a lot of blokes and perhaps girls, I don't want to discriminate genders here, but perhaps people who haven't had that partner early on, so they don't know what it's like, and this is all that they know.
Yeah, so I think the thing with we were talking about before, the like guys, at least that's what we're up to date with because we are males, who have not had any sexual partners, and then they're like relying on porn as that like sexual release or whatever. I think you're kind of creating a bit of trouble for yourself because it's not what you think it's going to be.
It's like, I can guarantee you what happens in real life is going to be very different to what you see on the hub, mate.
On the hub. And if you fall down that rabbit hole on the hub.
It's even, I remember watching a Jeff Nippard video. It's like, apparently sex with a new partner that you're like really into is the testosterone boosting variable. And masturbation lowers testosterone. It's interesting. It's like from a kind of primitive standpoint, like, you know, procreating with other mates and things like that is a testosterone boosting thing. But if you kind of do it artificially, it's not.
I think the way Adolfo Tex put it on the podcast a while ago, he's like, a waste of male energy.
Yeah, a waste of male energy. It's
just good from him.
So yeah, we never masturbate. We only do the real thing because that's boost testosterone.
Boost test. It's a big test house.
Yeah.
I think another thing is like, you know, like the disgust you feel after watching some of those videos. Like it's fucked. And you know, a good. I just think to myself, a good barometer for like, is what I'm watching okay? Is like, if you were to show a mate, like if your mate was to scroll through your porn history, are they going to go, brother, you got to see someone? Like you need to be locked up. Don't you reckon?
It's true. I reckon probably some of the stuff that I've watched is pretty not out there. It's just pretty normal.
It's just basic.
You know, I'm trying to...
Basic. No, we don't need to go into personal experience. I'm just saying in general. And I'm not even saying like, oh, if your grandma saw this, would she... Like, no shit, she wouldn't be okay with it. I'm talking like if you and your best mate, like, we're fucking close and I can show you anything. But it's like, if I were to show you that, would you be like... Hey, brother, you got to see something. What are you doing?
You know...
Are you good?
You know... When you do it, you do the deed, and then you shut your computer screen like, get off, you fucking disgusting.
What is that?
You filthy beast, get off of it. That is disgusting.
It's disgusting.
I can't believe you do such a thing.
And then you're bloody flat for the next half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, what have I done?
I feel like for some people, when you get addicted to pornography and things like that, you know, they're squeezing out every last bit of fluid just for that little serotonin release. Like, please, brother, please, just an ounce of serotonin. Like,
give me something.
A crumb of serotonin.
Yeah. So.
We haven't answered the question.
We haven't answered the question. We've just gone down the... porn. Look, I think don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm off it.
Yeah, I reckon
Blanket
get yourself
statement.
a relationship where you're both really into each other, you know, you're having regular sex. This is probably a mass generalization. Maybe some people are asexual and in relationships, but
oh fuck yeah, there's all that,
there's
isn't
all
there?
that X, Y,
God.
Z, B.
Jesus, I can't keep up with it.
Anyway, we just got cancelled for that. But yeah, I think if you're in a relationship, at least in my experience, you should be having regular sex. You should be into it, and there shouldn't be any need for the black and orange type setup.
So let's put a spanner in the works. You're away from each other a lot, where you can't have regular sex. Then I reckon maybe if you're both comfortable, both consensual, you could maybe, you know, create a bit of content yourself. Get a bit of
could be on the cards. Obviously, depends
on the cards
how comfortable you are with that.
All of that. Let's just sign the waiver.
Could just be a tool in your arsenal that you might draw out.
Could be a tool in your arsenal.
Yeah,
it's a good way to put it. Good. I think we kind of answered that.
Yep. Next question is extremely relevant to this one, and it is: what time of day do you take your turkesterone?
Straight after.
From Ray.Blake. Mate, so to hit that anabolic window straight away, straight after you ejaculate, you want to have 72,000 milligrams of turkesterone.
Eat all the turkey.
And you want to put it through your ear hole just for prime absorption.
Of course.
No, I'm kidding. So good question, mate. We actually have 2 tablets 3 times a day. We're on 3,000 milligrams. And so I will have it once after breakfast, once after lunch, once after dinner.
I do the same as well. Yeah. Yep. And sometimes I miss by an hour and you go, oh, have you had your turk? And I go, oh, shit. But you remind me.
Yeah, so that is...
It's panic.
Not much more to add there.
Pure
and we got underage drinking from Joel.Trainer. He didn't even put a question mark. He just said underage drinking. So I presume he's asking...
Maybe it's a statement. Underage drinking. Yeah. That's it.
Thanks for your contribution,
Thanks, Joel.
I think we've got probably 2 different opinions because I was the most boring teenager there was, mate. I did not have my first sip of alcohol until 3 months after year 12.
It's good. It's good. I think, you know what? Let's go case by case then. I think it depends on the kid. Look, obviously we don't condone it, but sometimes like if you're young, I don't want to say an age because like if you start saying if you're above 15, then no, that's not the case. Case by case, I'd say hold off for as long as you can because you've got your whole life to drink, and I promise you, it gets better as you get older. It's not going to be fun like when you're...
Yeah, I don't know. Sure I think I was definitely a late bloomer. So for me, I was definitely glad that, like, I don't regret that whatsoever. I went to 18th and I was drinking water. I was probably the most boring bloke there. I didn't enjoy any of those parties. I was literally just there to play soccer and do well in school, and that was it. And I'm glad I did that. I don't think I really missed out on a whole lot, to be honest. And I probably kept a few more brain cells.
Probably did, yeah. I didn't drink much underage. I think I remember having like a couple of beers, maybe at an 18th, and that's about the extent. So I'm not too far off you either. Although I had fun.
However, like you do hear of like lots of people getting fake IDs, going to clubs and things, like even taking illicit drugs from a very young age, perhaps like 16, kind of getting a fake ID, going to clubs and, you know, smashing pingers or whatever they're called. Like, I think that is really, really detrimental to your health because that stuff like that is like synthetic, can alter your brain chemistry permanently. And I don't know if there's any sort of correlation between, you know, a young developed brain and taking things like that. I think that is probably one of the most detrimental things you can do. You know, I'm not really kind of speaking off of any evidence here, but I have seen it happen to people.
Oh yeah,
they're not the same.
No, genuinely affected. There was obviously not going to talk about people, but yeah, I recall the exact same thing. And you see them now, and it's like, oh, geez.
And I think it's almost they think they're cool because they're going out young, they're hanging out with older people, they're taking drugs. Honestly, you are like you're really lowering your potential that you can reach. I feel, and I've just seen it happen to too many people where they're just. It's like, okay, you're really cool in year 10, but what are you doing now?
The peak early, yeah. I mean, we weren't really in groups where it was like we were smashing drinks and, you know, going out every weekend. I'd go to an 18th once a month or something. So maybe not, probably not the best to talk about it, as in, like, I don't have the credentials for it because I wasn't getting hammered every weekend and I can't say, hey, don't do it. But also... it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. Be smart.
Yeah, I just honestly, at least for me, I just don't see what the point is. I think you can have this, perhaps even at this age now, it's like you can have a really good night just having a few drinks with some good company and some good plans type thing. Like, I don't think you need anything more than that.
Those are the best nights. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. No, those are the best nights. And I think, look, if you are young, just be smart. Yeah. I mean, you don't need someone to bloody tell you exactly you can have 3 beers this much. Just be smart.
Enjoy yourself and be smart and just be in control kind of thing.
Yep, exactly. What's next?
So we got a question from Jake.
Yep.
I don't really know what the rest of that username is, but he's Jake Baller or something. Doesn't matter if I haven't had a girlfriend at 16.
Poor old Jake's fighting for his life in the group chat now because we read out his ideas.
Sorry, Jake.
Nah, I don't think so.
I know people who are 23 who haven't had a girlfriend yet.
Yeah. Or anything.
Or anything. Which is so fine.
Fine.
Don't let anyone put the pressure on you for... You haven't had your first... I'm pretty sure I didn't have my first kiss until 16 or something. And there was an action-packed year from there, but no pressure, lad. But yeah, I was like a pretty late bloomer, to be honest. So, yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, mate, of course it doesn't matter if you haven't had a girlfriend. Doesn't... You don't need to like conform to these kind of structures of when you're meant to do this, that, and what else. Take as long as you need. Don't put the pressure on yourself. Do it when you're ready.
I don't know if you're missing out on much by, having a relationship in high school. Like, at least from what I've experienced, the high school relationships are very different to post-high school relationships. So, yeah, no pressure, mate. Just let it come naturally. And if you're interested in girls at this age, I know people develop at different ages, but have a chat, be respectful, see if you connect with someone and see where it goes.
Make sure it's consensual.
Yeah, and it's better. A real interaction is better than being on the hub, I reckon.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Stay off the hub if you're 16.
Yep.
Next.
So we got a question from Jack.Dundon here. My best mate slept with my single mum and then got her pregnant. What should I do? Question mark.
Single and then got her pregnant. So your best mate's your stepbrother's father. Oh, mate, it's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, it is quite a bit going on.
It's a lot going on, I mean, you got to make the most of your situation, don't you?
Yeah.
You got to, is what it is. Hey, what's happened. Maybe you can...
you can't change it.
You can't. Maybe you can... You've got a deeper connection with your best mate. And you can...
Well, your best mate is going to be the father of your sister.
Yeah, fuck, it's a lot to handle, isn't it?
Yeah. I always wanted a sister, like a little sister to look after, and I'm really annoyed mum and dad never provided on that front. So perhaps you're going to be living my dream.
Of having a younger sister that you can look after.
Yeah, exactly.
There is the thing of your best mate.
Best mate, yeah.
It's your mum. You know what? I reckon we take questions off best mate.
Yeah.
He's probably a younger lad.
Yeah.
I think we start putting questions on mum.
Yeah, what's mum doing?
What's mumsy doing?
I'd be pretty disappointed with my mum if that occurred.
You'd be pretty ropeable, I think. You'd be having some chats.
Yeah.
Maybe we can... All right, we'll talk about how you can have the chat to mum. I think you need to start it off with mum. Your actions have made me feel this way. I'm really hurt by them, and I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that again. And then we can work into the thing of progressing and building
from this.
Building from the relationship.
Taking it in your stride.
What's happened. It's a bit of a shit situation, but you're going to get through. And all in all...
You're not alone.
Jack, you could be closer to your mum and your best mate.
Just know, mate, you're not alone in this. You're completely alone. I think this is the only thing. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding.
I mean, it's got to be cap.
It's got to be
cap, this question. If it's not, then we're in strife.
Anyway, next one.
Girlfriend
sent nudes to a guy ages ago who lived in another state over a month ago, period. Not the best structure to a sentence.
Mate, that is giving me a fucking aneurysm.
Yeah.
Girlfriend sends nudes to a guy ages ago.
I think this guy's name was Tom or something like that. But anyway. Yeah, mate.
Yeah. I mean, again, another statement.
Yeah.
Just a statement.
She's not my girlfriend if she's sending nudes to another guy.
Wait, but is it a month like before the?
Yeah, so I don't know if this question specifies if they were still in a relationship, or like if they're in a relationship and that's just like some ratchet shit and you fucking drop it in a heartbeat, brother. Block the ting, you know.
It's not for me, man.
Yeah, not for me. You can do you, but personally, I'm not a cuck.
Yeah.
Personally, that's not me.
A genuine.
Some people might be into that.
Nah,
so fine.
Not for me. Not for me. You know, I don't know. There's a lot of people are into different things, and we don't want to go shaming anyone for.
I don't know why this person would send in this question if they weren't in a relationship. That like she's fine to send nudes to someone if she wasn't in the relationship.
Yeah, but maybe like a month before the relationship, were they seeing? I honestly,
you staying loyal in the talking stage.
Honestly, it's worded so badly. I can't really.
Yeah, the whole nudes thing I've never really understood. Like.
It's a big one.
I suppose it's similar to, you know, the hub question. It's like, once you get the real thing, like what's a few pixels on a screen going to do for me? I don't know.
Yeah. I remember we had like at school those the people they'd get there's talkers to come in and they'd put the fucking fear of God in you. If you have a nude on your phone, the Chinese Communist Party's gonna come in, they're gonna rip your heart out. Obviously I didn't have any on my phone, but I was nervous for my mates kind of thing.
You had like a photo saved on your phone of like Cara Delevingne or something.
Yeah.
From Victoria. Oh mate, delete that.
Just panic, fucking sheer panic. But we got through. The Chinese Communist Party didn't come after us, and we lived to tell another story.
That reminds me, like, since having a bit of a social media following, I get some disgusting messages.
Unsolicited,
mate. No, like some of them have actually like affected me.
Vile.
Like I've had guys sending me dick pics. Yeah. And like I opened one by accident. I'm not opening any more photo messages again, mate. It's like, I remember one time I literally worsened my mood so much. Like I was already upset about something and I was like, fuck, did not need that.
Just didn't need that right
like,
now.
From girls as well. Like, honestly, I don't, like, sorry. Like, I don't want to see naked photos of you. Like,
yeah. The thing is with those, I've had a few of those. And I just know it's a sweaty fat bloke behind the screen who's like screenshotted a nude off the internet, I reckon.
Yeah, I've had like a few people try to like send me nudes and stuff like that and be like, oh, send something back. It's like, fuck no, I'm not sending you anything back.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, mate, here you go.
Great deal.
Yeah. It's the worst trade deal of all time.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that.
Yeah, don't, like, for you guys that don't know, catfishing is a real thing where, you know, someone shows, I know for a lot of us guys, we don't get that much attention and that many compliments. So as soon as this account starts giving you compliments and, you know, starts giving you attention, it's easier to rope you in. But fam, don't accept the bread. Don't take the bait, yeah?
If you think it's too good to be true,
probably is, mate.
It's probably too good to be true.
I'd say, yeah, my number one tip is know them in real life first before you start getting intertwined with any of those complicated things. And that's the best way to avoid it. I've heard some stories of people getting catfished and it is very rough, and I think it scars you for life when stuff like that happens. So, and
if you're one of the lucky ones who gets a bit of a wake-up call without any, anything bad happening, then you're lucky.
So stay vigilant, boys and girls.
Yep, 100%.
Is what I'd say.
Now we got a beautiful kind of comment to finish today's podcast on, and I'm not going to read out his name.
I'll just read out the first bit. B West.
Westy. He messaged us, I think it's last night or something, saying, think I'm losing the virginity tonight, fellas. Wish me luck. So I replied on the NTF account and said, mate, good luck. Make sure it's consensual. Everyone, good luck. Got the confirmation this morning.
It occurred.
It happened. Mate, so
good. Well
congratulations, mate.
You're off the mark.
Runs on the board.
Well done.
Hopefully everyone involved had a good time and you had a good connection.
And a bit of a teaching moment here, guys. There is no pressure to be losing it at a certain age or whatever. You got to make sure it's right. You got to make sure both people are giving consent. Hopefully you're practicing it safely, using one of those things, those dom things or whatever they're called.
If it ain't on, it ain't on.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
What are some other things to keep in mind? If you're intoxicated, you got to, I think, it's like you can't give consent when you're intoxicated. And there's all sorts of variables you got to take into account.
I think that thing of consent, that old chestnut, is people like it's not complicated. It's pretty fucking obvious when you have consent, So don't stress about it in the sense that it's like, oh, I've done it. It's like, if you, obviously, you know.
Even when I had a girlfriend, I was
clear.
really big on,
Yeah.
you know,
very,
you may have done it
very
200
mate.
times before with them, but it's still important just to make sure, particularly, you know, if you've had like a night out or something like that.
If you're really struggling to figure out the lines of what is and isn't, probably hold back, mate.
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't be it's not a grey area.
I think the issue is a lot of these guys think with their private areas and they're so driven by it, and you know, they kind of blur some lines when they think that way. So fellas, don't
be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead. I've got some, I don't know. Just don't do a,
Good job to Westy. Bit of aftercare there, mate. Check up on him. How you going? How you feeling? And to the rest of you, thank you for listening. We've really rambled on this potty, but I'm imagining there's people out there on their day-to-day job. Someone's in a tractor, someone's cleaning a toilet, and they're listening to us. And right now, I know you're cleaning, I know you're driving, I know you're walking. We thank you with all our heart.
If you're not watching, we are actually wearing these extremely delicious tank tops. They're called the compound tank. Mate, we just look 10 times bigger in these, I reckon.
Yeah, and they're elite for running as well. I look like Steve Monaghetti.
I don't know who that is, but yeah. Runner?
Yeah. I think he had a moustache as well.
Not Craig Lowney, whatever his name is. Not that one. So if you do want to buy one, head to our website. They're unreal. $40. Bob's your uncle. They'll be with you very shortly.
Yep.
Louis will pack them personally for you and give them a kiss. Also, supplements, head to link in bio. Use code NTF. If you do want to support us. If not, all good.
No drama. Also, Manscaped, if you can, please. Thank you. I love you.
Cool.
People.
Good
Thank
night.
you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Sweet.